Oh my gosh. Hi. I'm Suzanne Castle. Gosh, I'm glad that you are checking this out, whether it's live or replay or whatever it might be. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Goal Getting Challenge. We're on day 4. Can you believe it? I cannot actually believe it. So today, I was actually, before I got on here, I went to see the chiropractor. For those of you that follow me on social media, you'll know that during our video on Monday, I lost vision in one of my eyes. I didn't want to tell you anything was wrong. One of you reached back to me and said, you so should have said something. But I've been kind of figuring that out. It's called an ocular migraine. I had some things happen with that. And so finally getting to my chiropractor who did a cranial realignment, and I feel so much better. But I was talking to him because he was unsure if he was even going to keep his practice open. He hasn't really been doing a whole lot since COVID-19 came on the scene, and he's gone to a new place. I've had him over several times. We've been walking through his own goals, and he was just talking about the fabulous support that people give to one another. And I was telling him about this and about all of you and how you're just striving really hard to think about goals in a different mindset. So I wanted to start off by saying that today and saying to you how glad that I am here with me today. I just think it's so hard. The days are so full, and you are taking 15 minutes out of every day to show up, whether it's live or replay. And I am so thrilled that you are taking action for yourself. If you're here today, I know Melissa's here. Hi, Melissa. Yes, I'm fine. Let me know in the chat box if you're watching, where you're watching from if you want. And I'm excited. You guys have been sending me these unbelievable, terrific, amazing, fantastic goals. And man, you guys are changing the world. Do you know that? And changing your life and those around you. And it is unbelievable to watch. My name, if I haven't already said it, you can see it on the screen, is Suzanne Castle. And I'm the creator and founder of the Brilliant Collab, a leadership group and a different way of thinking about collaborative leadership, and the Sparkle Factor, which is all about resetting our mindset to be about joy and happiness and retraining our brains to notice those kinds of things. And today, in day 4, what we are tackling is planning. Womp womp. I mean, like, nobody really wants to talk about planning. Am I right? Anytime I hear the word planning, it just seems like all the joy goes out of the room. And I'm like, ugh, really? Because it just sounds like a chore. But I want to go back and I want to remind you that so far, you are crushing this work. I often have clients and companies who come in and do work like we're doing, and I work alongside their teams for some dedicated training created just for them and their industry. And so many times I hear over and over that I've never thought about outlining goals and going after goals in this way. It really is revolutionary. And so I don't want you to get the womp womp face on knowing that we're talking about planning, and instead be excited that you're taking the time to up level your own life and your leadership, and you're jumping in. So go you. Here's where we've been. First, Megan got a goal journal. And with day 1, we talked about what does it mean to really want a goal? How do we think about that differently? Then in, let's see, Micah, day 2, got some goal-getting pencils. They are on the way. Go, Micah. I don't know if they've been delivered yet. And we talked about how then do we then begin to think through a system to go after the things that we really want. And then Chris got a habit tracker journal yesterday because we talked about it's not enough to know what you really want and then create a system to go after it. You really have to program it inside of you, become that robot. And I promise you that there is more on the horizon. So I do want you to stick around till the very end. And I'm glad to see that Megan's here. Yay. I'm glad to see that Chris is here. I am so excited that Melissa was checking in. And yes, I am okay. And I think we should jump into planning. So before we do that, I want you to just kind of get excited. If you haven't left your desk in a while, stretch yourself, because this is where it all comes together. And I'd love to hear an aha that you've had so far. So use the comment feature if you like. Tell everybody that's on, what is one new thing that you're thinking about when it comes to goal getting? What is one new thing that you're thinking about during this challenge? I'm going to take a look at the comments. and see where we are at. What is one new thing that you're thinking about? I know for me, when I teach this every single time, it causes me to reflect where I am and where I am or am not really setting myself up for success. So one of the things for me is I'm going to go back and really look at how I've set up my system to be the most successful and productive that I can in reaching my goals. So thank you, all of you, for helping me understand that dynamic in my own mind. Let's see. Any ahas showing up? Be sure and put them in when you're ready. And when they come up for you, let's dive right into planning. This one is going to be shorter than most, but I've been yapping for 5 minutes already. Okay. Today, we're going to be discussing the important subject of planning your days. Because here's the productivity point I want you to get at today. Remember, we talked about goals, then systems, then habits, right? Goals and systems and habits. And you're determined now that you know what you want. You know the system that's going to get you there. You know that you've got to plug that into a program that's your habits and rewards in each part of your system. And now you need to be planning your days so that you can always know what you'll be doing and when you're going to be doing it. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I'm going to show you how that actually works. Here's the deal. Several years ago, Scott Adams wrote that if you asked him what he'd be doing at 6:20 a.m. on a Saturday, June the 20th, he said he'd be at his desk working on a Dilbert cartoon that he'd started earlier in the week. Can you say that about yourself? Can you know exactly on whatever day it is that someone asks you about, at whatever time frame it is, the exact thing that you're going to be doing? To me, that blew my mind. Blew my mind. You see, the creator of the Dilbert cartoons has strategically put his system in place by outlining specific time slots every day to ensure that he's always moving forward on something. And we need to do the same thing. We need to decide precisely when we will implement our daily habits. So by putting this into your calendar, it minimizes the decision-making process. If you know where you'll be and what you'll be doing, you don't even have to think about it. So check in with me real quick. How many of you are really detailed and use a calendar system to plan your day? Let me know in the chat box and let me see what is going on here. So Melissa is stating that she's really excited and she realizes that she does need to schedule her time a bit better. Yes, ma'am. I totally get that. Most of us are in that same space. The aha that Chris had is the breakdown of the process of how simple, goal setting and fulfilling a goal really can be. That's right, Chris, and you're really crushing it on that. Megan says that she really likes what I said yesterday. Thank you, Megan, about how one is likely to achieve a goal if we just simply perform the steps. Yeah, that robot mindset is absolutely key. And for a creative person like me, sometimes that's hard. So I find myself when I'm a robot, I'm doing a lot better. Okay, Chris, not at the moment, but time breakdown can help with distractions. Yeah, most of us aren't calendaring in the way that we need to. And really, we just lose time all the way around. Megan, she is detailed in a P way. So she does a calendar, she does lists, but it probably looks like chaos to other people. It doesn't matter what it looks like to other people, Megan, it just has to make sense to you. Okay, so we're figuring it out. We kind of have a system in place. Some of us use our calendars. Maybe we don't use them in the best way that we possibly can, and that's what today is. Again, you need to decide precisely when you will implement your daily habits. You see, here's the thing. Our willpower is limited. I know you think you're a superhero when it comes to willpower, and maybe you are when it comes to chocolate. Me, not so much. But the more we have to choose between things, the more depleted our willpower becomes. And when you take away the what and the when choices out of habits, you make it automatic, and automatic means you stay on track. So what does that mean? It means you've got your goals, and then your systems, and then your programming, your habits, and then you're planning for them. It's simple, it's powerful, it's profound, and please trust me when I say it always works. It always works. Now, before we dive into the calendar and we start taking action, which is what your workbook today is going to take you through, I really don't know where you are in your productivity journey. So I'm going to begin with a really brief kind of overview of basics of calendaring, okay? And I want you to remember that you get the greatest value from habits by consistently applying your program and your system. So the first thing, if you don't do this already, you need to review your daily calendar every day. So for example, some people find that doing that at the start of the day is a foundation habit, and it really should only take you a few minutes, less than 5, trust me. Then once you've gotten to the habit of reviewing what's in front of you today, then at the end of the day, you need to review tomorrow's calendar. So at the end of the day, it's a great habit, again, 5 minutes, that puts you into proactive frame of mind. Here's what happens. You might notice a meeting that needs to get rescheduled, or maybe you need to give yourself better travel time, or maybe reading your calendar might remind you of additional tasks to complete. Maybe it will help you decide, oh, I really didn't iron my pants for an important meeting and I need to do that, so I'm going to do that now. So again, the first thing you're going to do in the day is review today's calendar, and at the end of the day, you're going to review tomorrow's calendar. The total time of that should be 10 minutes total for both of those tasks. Okay, now the next thing that you need to start doing when you're calendaring is you need to write down all appointments, personal and professional. This is where people lose the energy and the will. It's a really important rule, though. It's also a rule that I struggle with from time to time, which is why we're talking about it. So if your calendar lacks complete details, it won't deliver results from you. This is a really important habit to develop over time. Everything goes on your calendar, everything. Now, I'm a visual person, so I have everything in colors. And so like my personal stuff might be a color, my stuff with my kids a different color, my stuff with Brian's a color, my consulting work's a color, my church work's a color. And so I can see quickly where I've got some hinky things happening. So in your workbook today, it's going to ask you to have your calendar handy dandy. Handy dandy. Okay. So you might want to get your workbook page, and you might want to get your calendar, whether it's electronic or on your computer or an old-fashioned paper calendar, doesn't matter. But I want you to be sure you have it there. And what you're going to do is you're going to take out the paper where you wrote down all of your habits. Remember that very first day? And remember, I just shared with you that you're going to write down all appointments. And I don't care if you are a paper or an electronic calendar person, it won't matter for your system. But what you're going to need to do today is you're going to need to plug your habits into days in your calendar. Remember Dilbert, right? So for example, you need to ask yourself, will you exercise every day at lunchtime? If so, plug it into your calendar. Are you spending time in meditation before work? Calendar. Are you calling a friend every week? It may not be the same friend, but maybe you're doing friend reach outs a couple times a week. Calendar it. Are you writing your book at 6:30 in the morning? Right? You know what to do. What? Calendar, right? So you will be amazed at what happens when you begin planning your days. Suddenly, all of your choices are taken away. I know that just sounds nuts. But when your choices are taken away, it actually makes you more productive and happier. I know it's weird. We all love choices, sure, but choices can also be paralyzing. And when you're really going after a big, audacious, hairy, amazing, life transformative goal, you need to focus on what really matters to you. Okay, so now it's your turn. Remember, you're going to fill in your calendar with your habits. No cheating. If it sounds overwhelming and you freak out, go day by day until it gets easier. You might want to calendar 1 hour a week that you're going to sit down and do things for the next week. Okay. All right. Let me check the comments because I have a pretty awesome goodie I'm giving away today. Calendar. Chris, yes. Calendar. All right. Scanning. Melissa Adams. You are the winner today, and let me tell you what you've won, because other people, you might be interested in what I'm sending her way. So here's the deal. One of the things that I use is called Way of Life. It's an app. It's available on Android and iOS systems, Way of Life. And it does have a free option, but I'm going to gift you, Melissa, the paid option. And if that's not something that you want, we'll talk about it offline. But what it is, it's a tool, and it appeals to those who like to track their progress in charts and graphs. And yet it's really simple, really intuitive, and it deals with good habits and addresses your bad ones that are keeping you from your good habits. So what it does is it helps you track your done or not done as to the goal, and it uses daily checklists. It allows note taking. It lets you kind of think if you're failing or achieving a goal at a specific moment, and it really helps you track weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual progress. It is so nifty. So, Melissa, I will get with you offline and make that happen. And that will be what is going on. So congratulations, Melissa. All right, let me check the comments and make sure we don't have anything that needs to get addressed real quick. Megan, one of the things that I hate about exploring the internet is it feels too overwhelming because everything is there and I feel frozen. Yep, same concept. here's the deal. It's really okay to spend time doing things like that, right? But like, I can lose a lot of time on Pinterest, right? I love Pinterest. I'm visual. And so I have to calendar. Sometimes I have to set an alarm on my phone. Okay, I've got 20 minutes. I can spend 20 minutes. When the alarm goes off, I'm done. Right? So you could even think about that. If you enjoy surfing the internet, it's an enjoyable place to be sometimes, then calendar it, right? If you just want to walk outside, go walk your dog, right? Calendar it. Just give yourself places and pockets to do the things that you enjoy doing, but just make sure everything goes on your calendar. Everyone has 24 hours in a day. The major difference between those that really are crushing amazing goals and those that aren't are the people that are crushing goals always have a strict calendar. Trust me, it's one of the best leadership principles I've ever learned is the power of the calendar. So I want you to have a good mindset. I want you to practice that. And can you believe it that tomorrow is the last day for the goal getting challenge? I can't believe it either, but there's some really good stuff coming tomorrow. I want to remind you to keep sending me all the things that you're doing. You can wait until Friday if you want to, but remember, everybody that sends me the homework that they're working on, even if it's not complete, you are going to be entered in the raffle, and I'm going to tell you about that tomorrow at the end of our challenge. Tomorrow, we still get a goodie. Tomorrow, we find out what the raffle thing is. Tomorrow, we're going to be really talking about an amazing way to continue to charge forward with your goals. My name is Suzanne Castle. I'm glad that you've been here today. Go get your goals. I'll see you tomorrow.